We have all seen every content creator from Dead by Daylight make a tier list on the killers in the game, but we've never seen it done by an artificial intelligence. So that's what we're gonna do today, guys. We're gonna try and ask the GPT to make us a tier list on the best killers in Dead by Daylight. Okay, here it is, guys. We got S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier. Now, again, this ChatGPT, I believe that the information they're gonna have is from late 2020 to early 2021. So it might not have the information on the newest killers, but as of the killers that it has the information on, this is the tier list that is going to make, I guess. So at S tier, we have the Spirit, which, you know, I would agree with that. The Nurse, the Hag, and the Trapper. The Trapper, I am not too sure if I would put the Trapper at S tier, but hey, this is an artificial intelligence program. They're gonna know, you know, a lot more about everything than most of us, right?
Stop it. Get some help.
At A tier, we have the Hillbilly, we have the Wraith, the Cannibal. So Bubba is an A tier, okay, and the Pig. Oh, okay, the Pig is definitely the best killer in the game, so I believe that. At B tier, guys, we have the Huntress, the Shape Michael Myers, and the Nightmare Freddy Krueger. Now, the Huntress, I would definitely put a B tier. The Shape and the Nightmare, I think they are lower on the list, in my personal opinion. But back when this information came from, the Freddy Krueger used to be one of the best killers in the game, if you guys don't know that. And then at C tier, we got the Clown, the Doctor, and the Oni. Not so bad. And then it does have a note at the very bottom, says please note that the tier list may vary based on personal playstyle and the current meta in the game, as the balance of the killers is constantly being adjusted by the developers. Make a tier list on the best survivors in Dead by Daylight. Here is a tier list of the best survivors in Dead by Daylight based on their overall popularity and performance in the game. Okay, guys, so we have a tier list on survivors as well, based on AI, based on the ChatGPT. Kind of cool. Let's see what it says. So at S tier, we've got the infamous Meg Thomas, of course, William Bill Overbeck, Nia Carlson, and David King. Out of these people, I would say that definitely Nia, Meg, and Bill. Whenever I play solo queue, these are the ones that play the best as survivors. It's kind of crazy to think about, but I think it's definitely kind of right. Maybe Fangman would be up there as well, but let's see what A tier has in store for us. So at A tier, we got Jake Park, Ace Visconti, and Laurie Strode. What do you guys think of that? Is that kind of fair? It's kind of crazy to think about. I know that survivors are just skins in the game and all survivors play the same, but at the same time, based on what people use, a lot of people tend to use, or a lot of people who play really good tend to use the same survivors, except for a few people here and there. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? B tier, we got Fangman, Quentin Smith, and Dwight Fairfield. Okay, Dwight, a B tier, I think that's perfect. And then at C tier, we got the Nurse's Aide. The Nurse's Aide? Who's that? We got Kate Denson and Zarina Kassir. Okay. Very, very good. Please note that the tier list may vary based on... So it says the same thing as the last time for the killer tier list. Not bad. Okay, make a tier list on the most wanted killers to be introduced to Dead by Daylight. Let's see what it says. Here's a tier list of the most wanted killers that could potentially be introduced into Dead by Daylight. Here we go. Wow, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Okay, now, of course, some of these might have already been added to the game, so it might be a little off, but let's see what it says. At S tier, we got Jason Voorhees, probably the most wanted killer for Dead by Daylight. Definitely on the spot with that one. Leatherface is already in the game, Freddy Krueger already in the game, and Michael Myers already in the game, so maybe S tier, the only one there would be Jason Voorhees. At A tier, we got Chucky, also a really wanted killer, I think. We got Carrie White. Who the hell is Carrie White? I don't know. Pinhead already got added to the game, but again, this information is before that time. At B tier, we got Jigsaw, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, and the Babadook. At C tier, we got Tiffany, the Bride of Chucky. We got Chrome Skull and Victor Crowley, Hatchet. These are just potential suggestions based on the popularity and recognizable nature of these horror icons. What about the Xenomorph? Would the Xenomorph be a good addition to Dead by Daylight? The Xenomorph from Alien franchise could be a potentially interesting addition to Dead by Daylight. Its unique abilities and characteristics as a hunter-stalker type of monster could add a new dynamic to the game. However, the inclusion of Xenomorph in the game would depend on the availability of the licensing rights and developers' plans for the game. Ultimately, the success of the Xenomorph as a killer in Dead by Daylight would also depend on how well its abilities are balanced with the other existing killers in the game. What perks would you give the Xenomorph if it got added to Dead by Daylight? Here are some potential perks that could be assigned to the Xenomorph if it were added to Dead by Daylight. Acid Blood. When hit by the survivor's attacks, the Xenomorph leaves a trail of corrosive acid that hinders the survivor's movements. Inner Mouth. The Xenomorph can use its inner mouth to quickly grab survivors from a distance. That's kind of cool. Oh my god. Chest Burster. The Xenomorph can plant a chest burster egg on survivors, causing them to be temporarily stunned when the egg hatches. What? Guys, this is awesome. Alien Sight. The Xenomorph can see survivors through walls and obstacles, revealing their locations for a short period of time. And Multi-Tongue. The Xenomorph can use its multiple tongues to detect survivors even when they are hidden. Wow. Okay, these are just potential suggestions, and the actual design of the Xenomorph's perks would depend on developers' interpretation of the character and the balance they wish to maintain within the game. If any of the Dead by Daylight developers ever see this, guys, just ask ChatGPT to make you a new killer. Okay, make an original killer for Dead by Daylight. Here is an original killer for Dead by Daylight. Name: The Collector. Appearance: a mysterious figure dressed in a long black cloak with a large collection of arcane artifacts and trinkets hanging from their belt. Their face is obscured by a hood, but their piercing eyes are visible, glowing in the darkness. Okay, that is really cool. Abilities: Arcane Pull. The Collector can pull survivors towards them using dark magic, making it easier for them to close in for the kill. Curse of Binding. The Collector can place a curse on survivors, slowing their movements and making it more difficult for them to escape. Soul Harvest. The Collector can steal the souls of survivors, leaving them disoriented and vulnerable to attack. Shadow Step. I think that's already a perk, guys. Shadow Step, but okay. The Collector can teleport short distances, making it difficult for survivors to predict their movements. And Trophy Case. The Collector can collect the artifacts of fallen survivors, adding them to their collection and granting them new abilities. The Collector would be a formidable and unpredictable killer, using a combination of dark magic and cunning to track and eliminate their prey.